So what I want to work with is right now is basically find a way to fix the animation problems. And the problems I talk of is basically when you are looking, when we are doing one of these, okay, his hand and his body are just not really in a good position. So yeah, this is going to be kind of a hack, but you can still use it. I guess if you don't have any proper animations, yeah, we can still use this. And I'm going to create a new folder, and so I'm going to call OK, leave it over here, and let's create the stuff we're going to need first. Let's close the colliders, we don't want them. And let's create another empty, and let's call this stuff maybe IK references, something like this. I think this object doesn't really, we don't need it. Maybe place it around over here, and let's create empty. Let's call this OK target. Let's make it over here, well, somewhere around here. Okay, let's leave it at that. Let's go and write our script, and let's call this OK handle OK. Let's wait till it's open. Delete this namespace. Of course, for this to work, we need animator. Animation. Let's do any init. And we want to actually have on animator OK. For the on animator OK to work, basically, if it has an animator, or the object we are using has an animator, it's going to also run the on animator OK. It's kind of the same thing as we were doing on our animator hook with the, what is it? On animator move. So what what I'm actually going to do is, instead of adding it in on the handle OK, let's close this, let's print this as well. Instead of using this, I'm just going to say public void, or let's just say IK tick, because that's going to take care of it. And okay, yeah, let's create in here public transform, let's call this OK target. So basically what we're going to need is, when initializing, let's also pass the animator A, anim will be A. So when you want to do the tick, we need to know which hand we want to use. So in order to do that, maybe it's best, yeah, let's do human, or no, let's do avatar OK goal. OK goal. Let's also use a body target, public transform body target, and basically anim, maybe we can also pass a weight, float weight, or maybe hand weight, and then body weight, and then anim set float, not set float, and set avatar, set OK position weight, goal, and the weight is basically your hand weight. Then set IK position, goal, and the IK target to transform the position. We don't need the transform. And again set IK rotation, goal, and weight, and anim set IK rotation weight. Oops. This will be IK target dot rotation, and rotation weights will be goal and hand weight. Let's do it first for the hand, and then we're going to come back and do it for the body. To run all of this, maybe it's best if we let's delete these ones, because I want this to add this through script. And we're going to pass them from here. We're going to say transform IK target and transform body target, and let's initialize them. IK target will be IK target, and body target will be your body target. So that means on animator hook we can just come in here and say let's add the public transform IK target and public transform body target, and we can do, let's also save the handle IK handler. So IK handler is going to be game object, add component, handle IK, and IK handler dot init. We have the animation, the animator. Now we want IK target, IK target and body target. We also want to have a public boolean, and we're going to say use IK. So this will only open if we actually have to use the IK. And we're going to come in here and say void on animator IK. If not use IK, do a return. Otherwise, IK handle dot and IK tick. The goal we should be passing, let's go with right hand. That is, of course, we have to change this. And hand weight should be 1. And for right now, body weight doesn't do anything. So let's just stay like that. So into our state manager now, if we go and say when we're doing the spell action, or we're actually more correct, if we are actually using the looping, if we go and say on animator hook dot use IK, change this to true, and when you are closing this, change this to false. Save, close this. Let's go and assign on the animator hook the IK target. For the body target, we'll do it later. Let's hit play. And I actually want to go out of the maximize. Let's hit play. Let's change the option, and something is not working. Oh, I know what's not working. We actually need to also enable the IK pass on the right hand, IK pass, and see left IK pass. Should probably work right now. it works. And you can see that at least his hand is at somewhat better position. We should probably fix though the or find the correct position. So if we do this, if we hit play once, with the I'm not pressing it right now, so it stopped. But if I go into the scene mode and find my target, I can actually rotate it to the proper one. And let's see, it might be too far away. Yeah, it's probably too far away. So let's bring this back. Somewhere over here, because we're also going to use the body for this, so it won't really matter that much. So I'm going to go and do copy component, close this, and paste component values. Let's find the body target as well. Create empty. And let's call this body target. Let's assign it also onto our body. And into the scripts, into our handle IK, this will be animation.set look at weight. The weight should be like this. The body weight you can go with 0.8. How the head weight, let's set the head weight at 1, eyes weight at 1, and clamp weight again at 1. And let's say anim set look at position body target dot position. Okay, so this should work fine, well, for the most part. Where we are calling this, let's also hardcode this as well to be 1. And let's redo. Let's go into a state manager first. And here, we're leaving the IK open. So if I click play, I'm going to do the looping, and of course he's going to stay like that. Now let's take our body target and let's place it somewhere that it doesn't have to be straight, dead on straight. As you can see, we can change it. It's basically just going to make the body look a little bit better. But I don't like that he's looking in a weird way. So we might have to overwrite, we might have to write our own behaviors for the head. We'll see. Let's try and fix one problem at a time. And if I hit now, yeah, I think it's somewhat a little bit better. Let's take the body target and do copy component, paste component values, and let's also raise the, let's bring forward a little bit the IK target. Okay, so right now, if we are doing the fire breath, we have a more proper body. Of course, we can also fix the particle to come a little bit closer, but this should look more correct. Okay, what else we can do is also separate this and call this, or maybe yet let's see, let's make sure it works both on the left and on the right. So in theory, if we take the x and just make it the opposite, okay, or make it positive, it should work on the left hand. So let's use on the state manager, we need to know what hand we are using. So on the spell action, actually, if the spell is mirrored, that means it's the left hand. So we can also pass on the animator hook, we can say we can just say public avatar, okay, goal, current hand, and instead pass that in the arcade tick, we have our current hand, and we're going to do that into the state manager now, onto our spell casting. Let's go into our animator hook, although I think we might have fixed that. Okay, we're passing the current hand, so that means on the state manager we can say animator hook dot current hand will be is spell spell is mirrored. Okay, that means it's the left hand, not the left foot, and otherwise will be the right hand. Okay, so when we are doing the changes in, where is it, in the handle IK, let's store first the body target. For example, let's say body target, body, local start position, because we always want to have a frame of reference, and that will be body target dot local position. And in here we're going to say if goal equals left hand, then body target local position will be, or better yet, let's do vector 3 target position body local body local start position, and in here let's say target position dot x will be minus target position dot x, and otherwise body target dot local position will be the target position. Okay, let's go and make sure we have both, we can cast the spell from both our hands, and that has to do with Pyroman's Flame, I believe. I'm going to put it first, and I'm also going to put the Fire Breath first and the Fireball second. Let's hit play, and we're doing something wrong. Yeah, we need to also assign, oh, if body target not equals null. Let's also make sure we have assigned the arcade targets. Yeah, we have our body target. Let's do clear. Okay, right hand, of course it doesn't close. Left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. Which is pretty cool. Let's make sure we are also closing it. On state manager, use a key. Hit play. Okay. And it's pretty cool. Of course, the right hand. Now I don't know what was happening there. Okay, so you might have seen, in the video, a pretty abrupt jump, or however it's called. So what I did is basically I closed on my shield left and right. I'm going to close to get rid of the body mask, which means we can also joint the left hand and right hand can now be one single layer instead of having two different ones. Okay, but we'll do that on a second. We'll do that on a second way. Anyway, later, I mean. But what we're going to do right now, I wrote a little bit, I changed the script a little bit. First of all, we're going to assume body weight and hand weight is going to be single one. It's going to be your weight. Okay. The weight you're having will start as target weight, which means we don't need the target weight. It can simply stay directly as weight. We're going to be lerping. We're going to be doing a single lerp. And it's going to basically, everything else is going to stay the same, but we're now passing the lerp. We're basically lerping the value without having to go with curves and stuff like that. If you've seen it, I'm probably going to cut it away from the video because it was a dead end. Okay, so we're now doing the tick. The only thing that we also need to do right now is have a way to say public void lerp back, or we can still use this now that I think of it, but we're going to say okay tick, go back. We don't want this, and we're going to say if not use OK, we're going to use it, but we're going to be also doing this. Else, OK handler, take all this, OK tick, and this is a hack, the hack of the hack. Just think of it like that. Let's do this public so we can monitor it, and on our animator hook we're going to say if IK handler dot t is greater than 0, then IK handler dot IK tick, the current hand, and we're going to say target it back to 0. So this will probably do a better lerp. Okay, just to make sure this is correct, we're going to be assigning this as 0. So let's go back and let's go in here and say okay, now it goes more smoothly, and it also leaves more smoothly where slower. We can fix the positions, and now it's also a lot better. And it's going to work for the left hand as well. We now have the same values, and for the animation for the most part looks the same because it's not an animation, it's a procedural animation. Okay, which is what we want. Now let's do the same thing to do, and let's create an animation, an AK animation on top of our AK animation. Yeah, I know, it's as fun as it sounds. So what we're going to say is on our handle AK we're going to create public void late tick. And we also want to have transform head target. Again, all these are not necessary if you have proper animations. We don't, so we have to, where there's no resources, there's resourcefulness or something like that. Okay, on init, find the reference call, and we can say public transform head target Cool. Now actually we can do this slightly. Yeah, no, let's try this. It's probably going to be cleaner. So on our animator hook we have init, close roll. We have one order call, or two at least, so it wouldn't really hurt if we also had a late update in here, I guess, even though I don't necessarily like this. And we're going to be saying handler k handler dot late tick. The reason why I'm not just using late update from inside handler k is because I have access on the animator hook. I have access from the state manager and stuff like that. If you want to be, you know, more persistent, you could just do the public void late tick, and where you are calling the late tick from the state, not the state manager, from the input handler, you can be calling the late tick from there, and so on. But for the purposes of the video, we'll just make it so that we're calling it the late tick from the state manager, which we'll also be calling it from the input handler. So yeah, it's not really that much useful. So we are on the late tick. Of course, we need to find the head of our guy. Transform head trans. To find our head, we are going to do head transform will be animator get bone transform, human body bones, head, and just like that we have our head transform. So in theory, if we do head transform dot look at, this is going to be entirely wrong though, just to be safe, not just to be clear. Head target dot position. We're going to have to readjust this, but you'll see. Okay, we have head transform, head target position. So that means on animator hook, late tick. Yeah, okay, let's do this a little bit clearer. We want to have vector 3 direction. The direction will be head target dot position minus our head transform dot position. Yeah, that's correct. If direction is 0, then direction will be head transform dot forward. Then quaternion rotation or target. Target rotation. Lock rotation will be direction. Target rotation. Current rotation will be quaternion dot spherical help. From head dot rotation to target rotation and target rot, and we can just pass the t we are using for the height in here, for the weight in here. Okay, so we don't need this. So in theory everything works. create empty. Again, this is the hack of the hack. Okay, just because we don't have animations, because game development is fun like that. Let's go into our box one. Let's also, we know this is going to become a problem, I guarantee it. So we're going to say head trans is null, return, and if anim is not null, then do this. Okay, because the enemies will probably give us errors with this. So let's assign the head target, which is, this is the head target, and hit play. Let's see the errors. Oh, we don't have the head target. Why would, oh, the enemies don't have the head target. So, or head target equals null. Okay, return. Close this. We need to reassign the, have the head target. Okay, so that means on state manager, when we are doing the spellcast, when we are not doing it, close this. Close, hit play. Okay, he's doing this now, but the head target doesn't even work, from what I can see. Let's see why it doesn't work. Let's put a debug log in here, not in here, on our late tick, and we'll see why. So the debug log, it works. Oh, yeah, we don't assign the rotation for our head. Will be current rotation. Don't want this. Close it. Hit play. Okay, beautiful. So basically what I'm going to say is take my head target and find the correct rotation. It doesn't really matter if it's up and down. Okay, you can control it like this. Or yeah, it doesn't matter that the point is over here. We're just looking where the head is over there. The reason why it looks like that is because if I go into my head, and we turn on the local, you can see that the forward of the head is looking over there. Okay, but the rotation is just correct, and because it's correct, wherever we go it's going to turn like that, which is pretty cool, which is basically what we also want. And it's going to, oops, before we close that, let's make sure we have the proper rotations or the proper positions. Take the position, copy component, get out of the play mode, paste back the component values, close this, and on the state manager, re-enable open and close RIK. Hit play. Okay. The head, okay, it might be too slow, but we can fix the how fast the height goes, but it basically has what we want. And nobody will know that it's not even an animation. And it works both for right hand and for left hand, which is really cool if you think about it, what we just did. And yeah, this is why an animator, you know, if you don't have any programming knowledge or how Unity works, you will be in a tight spot. But if you have, you know, both knowledge, a little bit of scripting, it's not really something wild, and how Unity works, you can do stuff like this really easy and really simple. This is incredibly fun to do, to be honest. That's why I'm using it. And I will just want to throw him down. Whee! Okay, awesome. Let's do the same for the shields. And we might probably have to do either create snap position for the arcade targets or just create a new arcade reference. Let's close this and let's call this breath spell or whatever. Drop them all down here. We can actually store since these are local positions, they never change. You can actually store these positions and rotations and don't have a lot of, so you won't need a lot of empties. But until we reach that place where we have to worry about saving stuff, we can just do it like this. So shield, let's copy paste the arcade targets. I think the head target is going to be the same. Let's go and enable the aiming, or what we just do. We can just do the same thing. So on our state manager, I think we have a handle blocking or something. Block action, let's see, is blocking true. Let's see where else we're using this. Nowhere. Yeah, and it's nowhere because we're not really needing it until right now. So we can say if is blocking, return. Oh yeah, we don't need return. We can say this will actually be a little bit of a problem, but we can say animator hook dot let's see what we're doing on the spell casting also. Not this, not this. Oh, it was this? Yeah, it was this. Use OK. A hook dot use OK will be true. Okay, if you are blocking. We'll worry if you are not blocking for later. Let's go into our animator or our handle OK. And let's go on our animator hook, doesn't matter. I'll say public transform. Again, this is just for testing. OK target, let's say OK target shield and public transform OK target the body. Let's leave the get target body shield. Let's leave the head target, let's keep it the same. Let's close all this, and maybe we can do one more over here and say public void init OK for shield, and I believe maybe on handle OK we can also do the same. Or maybe yet let's do a public void update OK targets, Okay, and that will be hand and transform body. So okay, target will be hand and body target will be the body. We're going to call this from our animator hook. Init AK for shield means AK handler dot update AK targets. Okay, and now we want these two. AK target shield and okay, no. AK target, yeah, I take a target shield and AK target body shield. Similarly, we want to do public void init AK for breath spell. Copy this, paste this, the target, AK target. Okay, so on the state manager, when we are doing a spell action, or we're going to call the spell action, we can't just set it so that we're only updating the AK if it's a breath action, or we cannot always doing that. It's going to basically be the same. So on the end, let's say animator hook dot init for breath spell, and on the block action, on the spell casting, and I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. On the block action, say animator hook dot init for shield. Okay, awesome. Close this. Let's go and set up our breath or our IK targets. Boxman. I'm going to only get the body target, target shield, and the IK target. So let's go onto our controller and say for our left hand, no, let's start with the right hand. So I'm going to also put the shield on my right hand. I think it was around shield, but I also want to have a pyroman's flame because they are cool. Yeah, I have added on the left. Yeah, that was what I was doing. That was my tent all along. Well, okay, this is funny. Anyway, let's ignore that. Something went entirely wrong in here. We probably use a left foot instead of left hand. And that was probably in the state manager. Oh, yeah, we actually need to, when we are doing a blocking, we need to be passing, if we, it's the, yeah, we need to pass the correct hand, the same thing we're doing over here. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. Copy paste this and block action in here. We don't have spell is mirrored. We need to take all of this from the slot mirror. Okay, if it's mirror it's the left hand, otherwise the right hand. Let's see. Okay, so we're kind of doing the same thing, but we need of course to fix the, because the arcade doesn't close, we can just come in here and say get the arcade target. Nope. think we assigned something wrong actually. Yeah. We assigned the references wrong. Arcade target shield should be the head target, and the target body shield should be the arcade target. Oops, no. The body target should be the arcade target body, and the arcade target should be the arcade target shield. The head target will stay the same, delete it. Hit play. Do shield once. Arcade target. Rotate it, find the correct position. But we have to work with the body, to be honest. So everything we do first, it might be a little bit redundant. So yeah, before we do that, let's go into our handle arcade. Inside the arcade tick, we want to, let's comment this line out for right now, but to fix the arcade right now, we need to also switch the shield and fix it on the right hand first, and then it's going to get mirrored on the left hand. Okay, like this. Let's delete, oops, delete. Let's block. Let's fix the body target. Okay, target. Okay, it's much more, it's much more correct, or at least it looks way better. So yeah, we need now the values from this. We can only copy paste one of this, or you know, if you're like me and don't like doing things multiple times, you can go make it a prefab or whatever. Copy component, body target, paste values, copy component, okay, target, paste values, and delete this. Let's open up RIK again. And let's see this now. Okay, awesome. We now have a proper shield. Of course, it misses a bit of momentum from the solder, but we can also fix that. But now we have an actual proper shield that we can work with, which is pretty cool. And if we change into what we don't have, into a spell, we can have a spell because we are that cool. Okay, let's make the arcade faster. Handle arcade, time.delta time by, well, let's go with 2. Okay, we're doing it faster. Let's see, late tick. So now we also need a way when we're not blogging anymore to basically just stop the arcade. Let's see what is the proper way to do this. It's probably going to be is blocking, and we can just have a delegate, to be honest, if you're not blocking anymore, to close the arcade. Let's think. A hook, use arcade. Well, actually, you know what is blocking, or is spell casting. Okay, this will be opening the arcade regardless. If one of these is true, it's going to open the arcade. So that means when we are doing the spell casting, which should be, well, it should be somewhere. Actually, let's just write this a little bit cleaner. And over here, let's do it a hook dot use a key is blocking is spellcasting. On the opposite side of that, I think if we have rolling, close roll, let's see, handle rolls, roll input, okay, we don't want this. You can say in here is blocking is false, so if you're doing a roll, it's going to close your block. And yeah, the last thing I wanted to do is throw projectile, and no, actually, yeah, no, throw projectile, we should change this actually. So let's go and say public bool enable AK, enable AK, okay, and let's find our spellcasting, spell action, handle spellcasting. Instead of doing this, we're going to say enable AK is true. Yeah. And into our block action again, enable AK is also true. So over here we're going to say if is blocking is false, and is spellcasting is also false, enable AK is going to be false. The spellcasting closes by itself, so we know when the spellcasting closes. It's just that we don't know where is blocking closes. That's the only issue. And we also have handle spellcasting, and over here enable AK will be false. This will probably work. Let's see. Let's hit play. Okay, block, the speed should be greater. Let's make it something like 5, and like A. Let's also put into our controller, let's find round shield sword, let's also add a pyromancy flame. Hit play. Okay, we are blocking, we are changing sword, flame, fire breath, leaving it, fire breath, shield, which is pretty cool, fire breath, shield, fire breath, shield, fire breath. Okay, now let's see if the left shield works. Do we even have one? Let's see, controller, round shield, 3 here, and round shield. Hit play. Okay, it works. We might have to assign left and hand rotations differently, I guess. As you can see, you can also have this. Yeah, so we have to create the different rotations for the left hand and for the right hand. And I think the Pyromancy Flame didn't have any issues with the left hand, because it's just the rotation is just very similar. So either you're using a right hand or the left hand, it doesn't really make much of a difference, which is really cool. Now let's save all our data. Okay, we're going to save all of this so we don't have a lot of empties. So now the issue arises, where can we actually store this? And maybe in handle like A we can have here, or let's just write it inside handle like A, it shouldn't really matter. And we're just going to, you can make this the same way like we did it with the scriptable object and saving the positions for the weapons, but it just might be an overkill, to be honest, since we only have to do this once and find for each case. We can just say let's do let's be like that and save vector 3 breath, okay, target, yeah, no, but not really. Let's make it a little slightly cleaner. We're going to do system.serializable public class ik snapshot public vector 3 ik position or hand position public vector 3 hand Eulers public vector 3 body position and public vector 3 head position. Okay, let's create a list in here, public list ik snapshot ik snapshots, new list, and we should also create an enum to find which one we're using, public enum, and okay, snapshot type. And right now we have breath, sealed, and we can do the rest of the stuff, I guess. Or we can actually break it apart and say breath, sealed, right hand, sealed, left hand, and so on. Okay, for the purposes of this, we are only needing really few stuff. So yeah, you know, it doesn't really matter what we're doing with that. But here's another trick we can do. And let's think. Oh, let's create a few classes. Let's put the float above over here, RT. Maybe we can change the T to weight. It's going to be slightly clearer. Wait. Let's fix the order of this. Okay. So this we won't need this anymore. But let's create the functions we're going to need. We want to say ik snapshot, get snapshot. We're going to be passing ik snapshot type T or type, and we basically want to do a for loop ik snapshots dot count. Well, let's make this an array. Oops. length if ik snapshots I dot, and oh, we forgot to add it. Public ik snapshot type dot type equals the type we want, then return the ik snapshot I, otherwise return null. Okay, ik snapshot. So on the end down here, not ik, instead of doing update ik targets, delete all of this and say ik snapshot type. Find the ik target, ik snapshots, and actually we want ik snapshot snap get ik get snapshot from your type, and we're going to be creating this as helpers. Delete this and say transform hand helper, transform body helper, and transform head helper, and let's also get a shoulder helper. Transform shoulder helper. You'll see what this is going to happen. Head transform, let's delete it. And let's actually delete all of this. We don't want them. Yeah. So let's think. When we initialize, let's come in here. We don't want any of this. Let's delete all of that. So head helper, new game object dot transform head helper dot name will be ik helper, and we have our head helper. Now we want hand helper, new game object, no transform, game object dot transform head helper dot name will be head not head, hand helper, and this will be, instead of ik helper, this will be head helper. Next we want body helper, new game object transform body helper dot name will be body helper, and finally shoulder helper will be new game object dot transform shoulder helper dot name shoulder helper. So let's parent everything under the correct place. Shoulder helper is going to be parented under our own transform dot parent will be transform dot position, or actually it's going to be our own transform dot parent. That's where we want it. Now head helper will be the same. Head helper dot parent will be transform dot parent, and body helper dot parent, it's going to be shoulder helper dot parent. Yeah, and let's see what else we want. Head helper, hand helper. Hand helper should be here. hand helper.parent is going to be shoulder helper.parent. Okay, so we have all of this. We don't want any of this, and we also don't want any of this. Over here we want one more thing, and we're going to say transform anim shoulder, and we need to know the location of our shoulder, and that will be anim shoulder will be a dot, or anim get bone transform human body bones. And now we need to know if it's the right hand shoulder or the left shoulder, so we're going to leave that for later. Okay, so we have all of these. So when we are actually updating, not on the late tick, for the late tick actually we can just say head target or head helper, and no, head transform. Yeah, we wanted the actual head transform head trans. That was wrong. Head trans and get bone transform head, and this will be head helper. Okay, this stays the same. Now, when we are updating the snapshot, we're basically just going to say that body helper dot local position is going to be snap dot body position. Body helper, not body helper, head helper dot local position snap dot head position, and head hand helper local position will be snap dot hand position. Hand helper dot local Euler angles will be snap dot hand Eulers. Okay, type, and just in case we don't have to mess with the body and the head, because for the most part finding it once, it should work with the other side as well, we can say public bool use default head, or yeah, we don't have a default head. Let's write public bool override head position, and for body position we can say, yeah, let's leave it like that, but we're going to say over here, so this if snap dot override head position, and we can just do public vector3 default head position, and we can just say else, although it's not really needed, but you might have changed it in the past, so default head position. And we want to know also if body bool is left hand. So if it is actually the left hand, we want to use the body helper local position and vector3 target body position will start from the snap dot body position. This is going to be the same as the target body position, and we're going to say if is left, target body position dot x will be minus target body position dot X. So for the body at least, we only have to worry about fixing the right hand. It's going to be just mirrored on the left. And let's see, we have a few errors now, of course. We don't want any of this. Weight, we have our position weight. IK target position is going to be and hand helper and rotation, and this one is going to be body helper. There's also one more error that it doesn't want to show. Let's close and let's see if it's going to show now. Yeah. On our animator hook, we now only want the animator and when we initialize. Let's see for the rest. This now is weight and not T. Okay, let's go. And right now we don't have any of this. We only have the calls we can have from this. So update IK targets. We should be passing IK snapshot type, shield, and if it's the shield, the left hand or the right hand. And so do bool is left. If is left, IK snapshot type, shield left, IK snapshot type, shield right. Okay, why we have two different of this and we are also passing is left is because the rotation of the left hand is different than the rotation of the right hand when we are holding a shield. So that means we need to have two of these. And in it, okay, for breath, we can say bool is left, this was going to be is left, and this IK snapshot type dot breath. Okay, really cool. Close this. State manager. So that means in here we can pass if it's going to be left or right, its spell is mirrored. So if it's mirrored, it's the left. Let's find the other error, which is down here. Init IK for shield. So if slot is mirrored, that means you are, if the slot is mirrored, that means you are holding on the left hand. Close this. Let's find the final error. We just need to rename this to weight. Okay. Now, of course, we have to go and rewrite all our positions. Now, the problem is that we don't have an animator hook, or we have an animator hook, we don't have a handle IK. So instead of adding it with that component here, init, instead of doing add component, we're going to do get component, handle IK, and init. Or actually, we're going to say if IK handler not equals null, then init. So I can just go into my boxman, add handle IK, and I basically want the snapshot. Before we do the snapshots, I'm going to do one more thing, which is on my boxman into my right clavicle. I'm going to create an empty game object and I'm going to unparent it and put it on the same level as my game object. And I'm going to call this shoulder. I want to only reset its rotation. Okay, it's like this, but I have now the position of my shoulder. So that means if I get my IK targets and drop them underneath my shoulder, That means this have the correct position relative to the right shoulder. Okay, it's really easy to understand. So that means if I go into my Boxman, I'm going to open a new inspector tab, place it over here, and I'm going to lock this one to my inspector tab. On my IK snapshots, I'm going to add one more, or one. Now, let's find, these are, the first ones are for the breath, so that means it's the hand target for our breath. So taking this and assigning it over here like this, copy pasting it, copy pasting stuff. Okay, this is the hand position, these are the local Oilers, the rest of the two are just this. And body position, we should be getting the body target, which is going to be here, here, and okay, and here. We don't want the override head position, but we can just use the head target position, which is this, and assign it as our default head target. Oops, this is the scale. We want this. Scale doesn't really matter. 0.14. Okay. This is for the breath, so that means we don't need this two anymore. We actually don't even need the shoulder, but let's assign also the shield first. So we have body target and IK target for the shield. Let's do one more. And this time it's going to be the shield on the right hand. Actually, let's make everything 0. Oops, we don't want override. So, IK target, hand position, and the rotations. And we also want the body target for this. This and this. So we don't need these two anymore. Okay, and we also don't need the IK references, and we also don't need the shoulder. We have everything. We now don't need the values for the shield left, for the left hand, but we're going to fix them. Yeah, we're going to fix them after we have fixed the game. So in theory, closing this, if I hit play now, let's see where the error is, and the error comes from I believe comes from the enemy. No. Let's see, IK handler. Yeah, it's probably going to come from IK handler, and we're going to say if IK handler not equals null, only then do everything. And I'm actually going to say get component. Yeah, no, this is going to stay like that. Hit play. Okay, handler. These are all from the enemies because we share the same scripts. Okay, if we block, yeah, the reason why this happens is because we haven't fixed the shoulder. So the shoulder, our shoulder, and we actually have some issues with our parenting. Yeah, shoulder helper. Head helper. And so let's go again back into the scripts. Handle OK. And let's fix all, yeah, we should fix our parenting. Or actually, we have the boxman transform the parent, yeah, it should be in here, so why it gave us something weird? Oh, yeah, we are logging in. Okay, so head helper is going to be correct. Shoulder helper, this should be not the parent. We just have to fix the shoulder helper position, so that will be shoulder helper dot transfer dot local position vector 3.0 and shoulder helper dot local rotation will be quaternion, not quality level, quaternion dot identity. Okay, awesome. Let's do one more thing. Let's also pass public void on animator move tick. Okay, we're going to be calling this from the above, and I think we have, do we have bool current I think was it also on the current hand, so we can pass the current hand here. So let's handle like a. We're going to say bool is left again. Now we want our shoulder transform shoulder, and the shoulder we want is actually anim dot get bone transform is left. We want human body bones dot left shoulder. Otherwise, human body bones right shoulder. Now that I think of it, I think it's best if we also get rid of the body and we're only moving the, so what we're going to do, we're going to say transform.parent in here as well, and we're only moving the hand along a side with our shoulder. Okay, and in here we're going to say shoulder helper dot transfer dot position is going to be the same as your shoulder dot position. We're going to be calling this from our animator hook on animator move. We don't want before we do all of this, so let's just do it in here. If OK handler not equals null, then IK handler dot on animator move tick, and over here we're going to say current hand equals avatar equal left hand. So if it is the left hand, our current hand, then that means it's actually the left hand. Let's hit save and let's see what we did now. Yeah, actually we've written wrong the positions of the body, so let's parent everything under the shoulder and we'll see how that's going to work. Okay, both head, body and hand is going to be going underneath the body. Let's hit play. Okay, so now we have, well, almost what we want, but we have the hand moving along with the shoulder. We just need to refix the positions for the hand. Okay, it just needs a little bit more. That's just all. Actually, the problem why this happens is because I think when we were saving the positions, we had the scale wrong, so the positions we were saving were with the wrong position. But here's what we can do. If we put it on the right hand, for example, okay, let's make it so that the array will stay open. So on State Manager, inside our tick, okay, we have all of this. Comment this out, comment this out, and say a hook dot use array to true. This is probably going to give us some problem, we'll see, at least when we're starting. Okay, and now we have our array strict like that. So that means I can go find the correct position to our shoulder helper, hand helper, something like this. As you can see, it's only 0.471 that I have to change for my sealed right hand. Okay, this has to, of course, we have to do it outside of the play mode. If we hit play now, okay, it has the correct position, or well, you know, you can change this to something else, obviously. Let's say it's hands. Let's change to the fire breath. Shoulder helper, hand helper, something like that, I guess. And let's find 0.534, I guess. And we should go again into our into our animator hook. We should delete all of this, the stuff that we don't need, I mean. And we have hand position on our breath. 5.34. Okay, we have everything. This will probably also change in here for the left hand. Let's find the left hand, because the left hand is going to be kind of more extreme case. Let's change the fire breath. The fire breath, as you can see, it works perfectly because the rotation is correct. Let's change to the shield and find now the correct shield. So if I select now my shoulder, you will see that it now follows the left shoulder and not the right hand shoulder. So everything I fix over here is going to have the correct position for the left shoulder. So changing this. Just make sure, you know, it's not entirely that much different. Or from hand to hand. Okay, I believe this should be, this looks fine. Okay, awesome. And, you know, write this thing down. I'm going to open a notepad. If you also want to change the body position, you can. We update the values, okay, on each one, so you can even do that if you want. Okay, going to close this into my boxman, into my shield left hand. I'm just putting this on the second screen, and I'm going to rewrite them again. So shield left, the hand position is going to be 0.009. minus 0.156, then 0.476. Our Oilers 6.826, 21.069, and 84.939. Okay, save. So that means if we go and enable back RIKs, everything should be working fine. Awesome. Close, hit play. Ignore that. And we actually forgot to do something. We want to also disable this, delete this. Cool. Close, play. Proper shield. Proper fire. Yeah, we're kinda losing a few frames. I don't know where, but I'm also recording. I'm sure my GTX is fine. It might be because we're not doing any pulling. Okay, and proper shield left hand, and it also works if you are running. Well, okay, his body might be a little bit weird, but doesn't matter. Nobody will notice, and I won't tell if you don't tell. So this is really awesome. Like in 1.5 hours, we basically did what an animator will have to work like full days to create animations on top of your current animations. But just because we did all that, we can have animations that we can have procedural animations, as you can see. And I'm kind of curious why I'm losing frames, because as I said, as you can see, it's probably the recording. As I said, I'm sure my GTX is fine. Like, this is really awesome. Like, I can't I really can't have enough of this. Well, of course, we're going to nerf it in the future. But yeah, I think we're really should end the video here, at least, because we have done so much, and it's going to start being too hard with this. But anyway, this is procedural animation, so we're fixing all our problems with procedural animations, which is really cool. Okay, and everything else is going to work exactly as we were doing it before. We have to fix. Actually, let's see if we do a shield, and yeah, and it works when we are rolling. We don't have any problems. Okay, awesome. Like, seriously, this is really awesome. So with that, I'm going to let you have fun with this. You know what to do. If you like it, subscribe, hit that like so we get more visibility, and if you want to make sure I can still keep making all this until, there is no tomorrow, then your support is really much needed and appreciated. The ways you can support me is either through Patreon, where you also get additional rewards depending on your pledge, and the other way, of course, is via Gumroad by buying a project or two, and everything just goes back into making all this nice stuff, this awesome stuff. And I'm going to make this guy fall away because it's super cool, and we're going to end the video when he's off, the puny enemy. He's just a casual player. Like, this is really awesome. I really can't have enough of this. Anyway, with him falling off the edge, I'm going to say farewell, and I'll see you on the next one, and we'll probably fix the Looney Tune effect. So, I'll see you next time.